What is up, crew? It's your boy KSem, and on today's stream, I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw different body types of the upper body, and we'll be going over things like the different body shapes of the torso. We'll be going over the anatomy, and of course, we'll also talk about body fat distribution and how someone who might be a little bit leaner might differ from someone who's muscular, someone who's maybe got a little bit of a dad bod, and so forth. So today's stream is going to be really fun, and if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is KSem. I am a Filipino art streamer on Twitch, teaching everything from anatomy, gesture, perspective, and all of that stuff. And I also work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. So if you guys are interested in some free art education, or you're just looking to hang out with my dog who is sleeping over there, make sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe to YouTube, and I hope you enjoy today's video. But yes, let's go in and let's draw, I guess. So when it comes to drawing the torso, there's so many ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way, I believe, to draw in general. But what I like to do when I'm first starting out here, and kind of the things that really helped me when I was first learning how to draw the torso, was actually just imagining first the simple volumes of these forms. And so I'll show you guys kind of how maybe like a beginner level, a level 1 intro of drawing torsos here. And what I'm primarily focused on here is the relationship of the pelvis and the pelvis and the torso there, right? And so I'm actually just kind of grouping them up as two shapes. One of them being kind of this rounder shape to represent the rib cage and the form of the volume of the torso there, and the other kind of a more bowl shape there to represent the pelvis, right? So these are kind of how I would maybe first start out. So I'm not focused yet on any of the anatomy or any of that stuff. And then I like to find kind of a center line in between there. And this can kind of just be the gesture flow, right? Now, again, the gesture line here and the center line doesn't actually mean this is the spine, because when you draw the spine actually curves like this and then kind of goes down this way. And so if you were to actually talk about the anatomy of the spine, it's in 3 components there. So we'll talk about those 3 components in a bit. There's going to be the upper portion there called the cervical portion of the spine. I think it's the first 7 vertebrae of the spine right here. Then we have, so let me actually label these. Why not? So we have here the cervical, right? So these are going to go from vertebrae 1 to vertebrae 7, I believe. Then you're going to have here all the way down to this bottom portion of the rib cage there. That's going to be the thoracic. Am I spelling that right? Yeah, thoracic portion there. And that's going to be from I'm going to say T1 to T12. And then last but not least, you got that lumbar portion there, which basically connects to the pelvis there. All right, so we're going to be going over all these components again, but don't worry too much about it. I know that this can be a lot of info, so I'm just giving it to the people here who are interested in hearing more about what these things are. So let me actually change this to C1, C7. And these numbers just basically correlate to how many vertebrae are in these sections, right? So there you go, little spine there. Hey, welcome in. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the prime sub, or the resub, DYS Logan. Appreciate that. And thank you for the prime sub, Ray Treya. And no worry, Otis Magicus. And also Kaisa as well. Welcome in, guys. And yeah. Do you ever use the Riley method? I might have. Honestly, I don't remember the Riley method all that much. Actually, that's not true. There are some things that I use the Riley method for. For example, when it comes to finding that gestural flow between the pelvis and the torso here like that, I think the Riley method is really cool for that. But we're not there yet. We'll talk about stuff like that in a bit. Those are kind of like the tips and tricks that I find will be really helpful. But right now, we're not on tips and tricks. Right now, we're just on kind of like the basics, right? So again, just kind of laying out here the spine for you guys, just kind of a rough idea there, all right? But let's kind of go in now, and I will actually go ahead and I'm gonna lower the opacity here so I can draw over it again. But now let's go back in and let's talk a little bit about the actual structure here. An easier way for you to start visualizing the torso as a volume if this is maybe something you're struggling with right now, right? So an easy way to think about the torso is if you take, let's say, a square and you line this square up on the clavicle, which don't worry, we'll talk about that eventually. The clavicle being the collarbone here, and then also the 10th rib here, or actually let's do it on the model so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about right now. The Riley method. So there's kind of the masters who've taught art before. There's a lot of different methods. There's the Riley method, the Bridgman method. There's the what's the other guy's name? Not Riley, but Loomis. So these are just all other art educators who in the past have kind of defined a lot of these cool tips and tricks for drawing. For those of you who are wondering what those methods are and stuff, or what they mean. So don't worry too much about any of those methods and stuff. I always say those methods are just kind of general guidelines, but they're not ones that you have to follow exactly. So just, you know, don't worry too much. But anyways, imagine we were drawing here kind of like a box in perspective, right? Now, an easy way to think about the torso is if you actually take this box here, and let's flip it down here, maybe like so. Basically, the torso is actually comprised here of these two boxes. Now, I know there's a little bit of volume here, but you could imagine that that extra volume is mostly just kind of fat that goes in. But an easier way, again, to abstract the torso is just going to be to take these two squares, right? So remember, it's in perspective. So it's not just because she's leaning her body 3/4 view. The square here, like this, is going to rotate in perspective a little bit here to kind of give us this angle. So there are two things to note. One, the torso, the rib cage, actually kind of points up a little bit like this, and then the pelvis kind of points down. But here's another cool trick, right? So from this halfway mark here is basically roughly where that 5th rib is going to land. So the rib cage is comprised of 12 ribs. The 1 through 10 are going to be the ones that are actually most maybe visible through the skin there. 11 and 12 are kind of floating, and so you don't necessarily see those ribs. But you'll have here so this is again the collarbone. I'll label them their common names so you guys don't get confused. Collarbone here, okay. 5th rib is roughly around here. 5th rib, kind of the nipples, that kind of stuff. And then right here is going to be that 10th rib, okay? And I'm just giving you guys these terms. You don't have to remember them right now, but you know, don't worry too much. And then halfway around here, usually, not always, but usually this is kind of a good spot to figure out where roughly that that pelvis kind of starts. So the pelvis is going to be kind of wrapping back there as it tilts, right? So it'll kind of go this way and wrap there. But you can kind of imagine the torso being something like this to kind of give yourself a start for drawing the anatomy, okay? So 10th rib, pelvis, all of that stuff, okay? And then here, if you kind of bring these lines back, you can kind of imagine here, imagine if this was like a box that you were kind of bringing back into space there, right? There you go. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense so far, because again, if you can understand this part right here, then adding in all the more complex forms like rib cages and stuff like that, we'll actually go over in a bit. So don't worry too much about that. So let's add that center line really quick, right about here. And I think we're pretty much good with this general structure. I just wanted to show you guys this so that way you can kind of see before I, you know, draw in all the other details and stuff. And hey, thank you for the follows, Nico, Lanho, and Eon Raiku. Appreciate you guys coming in today. How'd you guys come across my stream? So let's move that over here. And let's do, what is all this? Let me merge this, delete that. And let me go ahead and color this one really quick. Give it a nice little vibrant look. Cowboy Bebop, yes sir. We do got the tunes out here. Okay, just a quick little color there to give it some pop. You know me. You know me. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. Cool. All right, so there you go. Simplified forms. And I feel like from here, let's actually go in now and let's draw out this this torso that we have. All right. So again, I'm going to try to use some of those ideas that we had, but I'm not going to let them kind of restrict me too much from the drawing here that I have. So first, I'm going to kind of find that collarbone area there, and I'm going to kind of just wrap around here and start imagining some of the volume on top of this cylindrical form that we've established. Now, sometimes what I like to do is I like to kind of find first the sternum and kind of bring forth that rib cage area right there. So kind of just wrapping in that rib cage, and we'll talk about all of these structures in a bit, so give me a second. But yeah, let's kind of wrap in here. Rib cage section here. We're gonna have kind of that torso kind of going down here, and then let's kind of simplify, or let's kind of work on this one and give it a little bit more of a complex form there. So we're kind of adding more tilt now. So I would say this right here is me kind of adding in just a little bit more volume to the structure, and really just thinking more about the actual components of these simplified shapes that we made, right? So with here being where that sternum and fifth rib is, and this is actually a very important thing to note, because the fifth rib is kind of where that sternum lies, and that's where that rib cage starts to open out. And so depending on your character, you might have different types of rib cages. There are people who have more open rib cages like this. Sometimes female rib cages are depicted as being a little bit more tapered this way, and so you might see kind of more like this among maybe like female characters and stuff. So there's so many different ways to draw this rib cage and this arch for your characters. So you can really choose however you want to kind of depict that. All right. But let's kind of go in here and let's start adding in some of the other kind of components. Or maybe I would give you guys another simplified version. So basically, if you took this anatomy that we took here, right? So this is kind of that simple complex form. So we went from this to, let me duplicate this here. So you can kind of imagine this shape now being a little bit more, I would say, complex, but I think it allows for more flexibility overall when it comes to drawing the torso. And again, you don't have to use this method or this approach. This is just one way to visualize these forms if you are looking for something to help give you some sort of structure. Cool. All right, but let's kind of go in here and start working more on the anatomy and stuff. Also, guys, and for those of you who are watching live, let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm gonna kind of go into detail with this one first, and then we'll just start drawing them out more. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a quick preface of this first one, at least, you know, before I jumped into the actual anatomy and all of that stuff. But now let's actually go in and add some of the simplified forms. So before we get into the anatomy, I'm just going to lay out here some of the kind of structures that I'm going to be seeing. Okay. Actually lower the opacity of this one just a little bit more. I'm drawing along while watching. Cool, cool, cool. How's it going, DJ? Hey, welcome back in. I'm good? Okay, cool. Just making sure. Making sure that I'm not scaring people and they're like, yo, what the heck, Kasim, you're going too fast. You know, gotta keep it a good pace. Hey, thank you for the follow, Johnny Sundown. Welcome into the Kasim crew. Appreciate you coming in here today. how'd you find my stream today? And for anybody here who found me today, how'd you guys come across my channel? Found it by accident, gonna try to be included. Oh, that's super cool. Best of luck to you. I actually saw you earlier at Sozo's stream, Sozo Micah's stream. I just didn't say hi because I'm more of a lurker. I mostly lurk on other people's streams. I don't usually, you know, say hi, be like, oh yeah, hey, how's everyone doing? So let's kind of go in here. I'm gonna again, I'm just adding in some simplified forms. We'll talk about all the anatomy and stuff in a bit, so just hang tight on that one for now. But my favorite free range artist, it is me. Yes, KSM, non-GMO, no weird gimmicks out here on my streams. I teach you guys how to level up the organic, natural way. All right, no cheats out here on my streams. The fastest way to grow and the best way to grow is to honestly just put in the work. That's what I always tell people. Put the work in, but there are ways to be efficient. You know what I'm saying? I subscribed to K since I don't have to see the subs anymore. Hey, look, sometimes I say things that don't make sense. All right, guys, just let me know in the chat if I ever say weird stuff. You saw my Last of Us drawing? Oh, did you? Did you like it? What'd you think? I'm always curious to see what people think of my drawings. I had a blast doing those Last of Us fan art. I might do more, but we'll see. I think I drew most of the characters that I wanted to draw already, which was just Ellie and Joel. But we'll see how Tommy plays out in the next episode. I might have to do a little something for my boy Tommy. You hated it? You loved it? What are my views on MSG? I think it's overly dramatized. I think it's a seasoning just like any other, and I think like anything, you know, use it in moderation, use it at your own discretion. I think people definitely in the past were like, MSG crazy, you know, but honestly, I've used MSG on occasion for cooking, and I think my mom uses MSG, and you know, it's pretty common in Asian cooking actually to use MSG. But I don't know, this is not a cooking stream, so yes, yeah, I heard about how Tommy, the voice actor, was in the game. He played the guy that looks like Rick Grimes actually from episode, like I think episode 4 or 5, I forget which ones we're on now. Can it be a cooking stream? It could be one of these days. And wow, thank you for all the follows today, guys. Captain Bay and Chanutella. I'd love to know, guys, for those of you who followed me today, I genuinely would love to know how you guys found my stream today. Was it through recommended? Was it through front page? Was it through YouTube? I've been uploading a lot more on YouTube, so I'm always checking. I'm like, hey, are people finding me on YouTube? Are people not finding me on YouTube? One of these days, people are going to come in and be like, yo, I actually saw you on YouTube first. And I'm going to be like, whoa, that's wild. That's actually crazy. We're not there yet. Can you do more Last of Us fan art, please? I might. We'll see. I'm actually working on a Draw It in Your Style right now. Do you guys want to see it? A little bit of a teaser of my Draw It in Your Style. It's very much in the rough stage right now. But I wanted to do a Draw It in Your Style because I feel like we're getting close to 30K here on Twitch, but it's also going to be my birthday pretty soon. No way. Did you actually find me on YouTube first? I'm genuinely skeptical. Thank you for the follows, Bardock WTF. You guys want to see it? Are you sure? You guys sure you want to see? Okay. I'll show you guys in a bit. Let me wrap up this torso really quick, and then I'll show you guys the thing. And then I guess if you guys want to get a head start, yeah, I'll show you guys, so that way if you guys want to get a head start in the draw in your style, you can. It's still very rough, and I'm still ideating a lot of things, but it's been a long time since I've drawn my OC, my OC Kai. If you guys don't know, I used to make a webcomic that I was working on called Ground Zero, and my protagonist Kai was, I would say, a fan favorite among the streams back in the days. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've even done any personal art, let alone my own webcomic and stuff. So I can show you guys. Give me a sec. Oh, another YouTube art channel recommended yours? That's crazy. That's actually insane. Well, that's cool. Thank you to thank you to that YouTube channel. Appreciate that. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I've kind of roughed out here the general structure for this torso. Again, you know, this is just a generalization of the torso. I'll talk a little bit more about, I don't know where her nippies are, but wait, am I allowed to draw nippies on stream? Probably not, probably not. Let's play it safe. I'm not trying to get banned out here on Twitch. That was close. That was close. Let's see here. I did your last drawing you saw. That was also Kai. It would be cool to see how you can draw him now. Oh, he looks, I mean, he looks the same, but he looks different because I think my art style has just, I think my art style has improved for the better. I think just working professionally and stuff has really pushed my art to a higher level. And so I'm happy. I'm really happy with how my art looks like now, but I'll show you guys in a little bit how it looks like. Actually, I'll show you guys right now during the ad break. All right, guys, so hold on really quick. I do run ads on my stream every hour, and one's gonna be running right about now. So if you do get an ad, thank you again for sticking around for the ad break. They do help keep my streams monetarily viable and allow me to do what I'm doing out here on Twitch. But if you don't want to see any ads, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub if you have it. But either way, thank you again for sticking around, and I hope to see you guys after the ad break. Yeah, I'll show you. Should I wait? Is that dirty to do? Should I wait, guys? I feel bad. I feel bad for the people who are like, oh, I want to see it. And then it's like, ad break. Should I wait? What do you guys think? It's a Grem move? Oh, yeah, it's a 100% Grem move. Show your real self. Somebody did redeem Jason here. I'll do the Jason redemption. Where's that one?
Hey guys, I got a message here from Quididdy. Wanted to let you guys know that if you are looking around for artists, the best ones are going to be the ones that are ethically sourced and free ranged. All right, you want that organic artist out here, none of that AI filtered nonsense. All right, we want that organic, naturally homebrewed artist out here. Thank you, Quididdy, for that message.
There you go. Okay. Should I I'll wait. I feel like it's so dirty. I think it's so dirty to show it while the ad break is running. That's messed up, right? That's messed up, guys. We can't do that. We can't do that to my viewers. No. I want to. I genuinely want to, but no, I'm not that cold today. All right. Maybe if this was a Saturday stream, you know how I am on a Saturday. The energy on a Saturday is very different. We really trolling on Saturdays. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of drawing the nippies, I'm gonna draw the line of where the nippies are gonna be. Okay, shh. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. Okay, Twitch doesn't have to know what that line represents. All right, guys, don't tell Twitch. Big brain strategy out here. Let's see here. Everyone pretend like we saw it. They stopped. No, you're gonna get people riled up. Hey, how's it going, Uracha? Twitch recommendation is actually nice. This looks so good. Thank you, Uracha. Yeah, welcome into the KSM crew, guys. I appreciate the follow, by the way. I'll do a little intro of myself. Are you guys back from the ad break, by the way? Let me know if you guys are back from the ad break. I think you guys should be back, but if not, I'll wait a little bit longer. I think you guys should be back. Yeah? You're back? Okay, here. I'll do a quick little intro for myself because I know a lot of you guys are tuning in just now. So, well, many of you, surprisingly. Here we go. Ready? Camera flip. 3, 2, 1. What is up, crew? It's your boy KSM, and I'm actually a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy, gesture, perspective, to all things related to character design, and I also work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. Right now, I'm prepping to work as a character designer for shows like Castlevania, Legend of Korra, and Invincible, so if you guys are interested in some free art education, or you're just looking to hang out with my dog who is sleeping over there, make sure to leave a follow, join in if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. All right, there you go. That's the intro. All right, it seems to think this is my first shot though. I thought I did. I'm enjoying the show and I'm drawing along. Oh yeah, I know you've been here, Shaney. I don't know, sometimes Twitch does weird stuff like that. But yeah, that's my little intro there. And let's see here, what was I gonna do with you guys? Oh right, I was gonna show you guys my work in progress for my Draw It On Your Style. A lot of you guys were asking about it, so I think it's only appropriate. All right, so let me show it to you guys. Again, keep in mind this is still a work in progress. All right, so it might change, but I want to give you guys a head start if you want to. Also, I went to a figure drawing session yesterday, a drink and draw, and these are some of the ones I did. I think these heads were about 5 minutes, and these poses were about 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, but just, I don't know, I just want to show you guys. But I did that yesterday. But here, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, look. Can we get some hypes in the chat? Everybody in the chat, type some emotes, okay? It's been a while since I've drawn my OC, okay? It's been a while since I've drawn my original character, Kai, but we're gonna be doing, I want to put out my first Draw It On Your Style of the year. I try to do at least one a year, all right? Get some hype in the chat. You guys ready for this? I'm scared to show it because it's not ready yet. It's not even close to being done, but I'll show you guys anyways. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right. So this is what I'm working on right now. This is Kai. I know he's naked. He's naked right now. I'm going to be putting clothes on him, obviously. But this is kind of what I'm working on right now. He's looking off right now. He's holding his helmet, his space helmet, and I need to give him some cool shoes and stuff. TOS. Oh shoot, he's got nipples. Is that okay? It's male nipples. It's probably okay. Okay, it's probably all right. But I'm working on this one right now, okay? It's, again, super work in progress, but if you guys want to get a head start, feel free to screenshot this one. I'll zoom in on the face because I think the face is probably going to be the most important part. Feel free to screenshot this if you guys want to get a head start on the Draw On Your Style. It's going to be a bit of time since I'm going to release this, probably a week from now. I just need a lot more time. I don't have as much free time as I used to. Because of work, and I haven't just had much time to draw. But this is what we're working on as the Draw On Your Style. This was the initial pose that I had as a rough idea. I kind of did this one first, and I was kind of like, it's lacking a little. It's lacking a little in gesture, so I raised his leg up and arm, and I think this looks way cooler. Yeah, I think this looks way cooler. But again, yeah, this is my Draw It On Your Style. Hopefully we'll finish this one soon for you guys. You want to join in and stuff. But yeah, that's a little bit there for my Draw It On Your Style. I didn't think I was going to show it to you guys today, but that's what we're working on right now. But all right, going back here. Yeah, you guys can get a week head start. Honestly, that's a good amount of time. a week head start over everybody else. That's pretty good. If you guys want to, no pressure. It'll be, again, the Draw It On Your Style will be primarily celebrating 30K followers on Twitch, which I think we're getting very close to. Thank you for everyone who's been following and helping contribute to that. And also it'll celebrate just so many achievements that we've made in the year 2022 from the 30K on Twitch, but also even growing on YouTube. I recently hit 4K subscribers on YouTube, which I know is nothing compared to Mr. Beast and all these million viewer subscribers, but hey, you got to start somewhere, so I'm celebrating that, and we're celebrating just the awesome community. We're celebrating me getting a job working for Powerhouse. So many things to be thankful for. And so I think I want to do a draw on your style to celebrate some of that. Weak head start. We're thriving. You guys are living. I hate being that guy, but I know you use CSP. What do you tend to use for drawing out of the roughs lines? I don't have an iPad. What do you tend to use for drawing out the roughs? You mean like brushes and stuff, or what do you mean by like what do I use? Because I use CSP to draw out mostly everything from the rough layouts and all of that stuff. But you know, I think it depends on what you're looking for. I don't use CSP outside of work, so you guys can see like I do most of my stuff, most of my personal work. I do on my iPad because I like the iPad. I think genuinely the iPad is one of the I think the iPad and Procreate is probably one of the most versatile tools that artists can get their hands on. It's incredible. You can bring it with you portably. There's a lot of utility function for it, so it's pretty solid, honestly. More brushes. I'll be releasing a brush pack eventually. Yo, what the heck? Yo, Jens, thank you so much for the raid. Let me give a shout out real quick, guys, to Jens. And also, I'm sorry if I keep saying your name wrong. I don't know if it's like Jens or like Hens or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm just mispronouncing things, but welcome in, guys. Everyone who's coming in here from Jens' stream. If you guys are new here, please, or if you guys haven't heard of Jens yet, make sure to follow Jens. They are an incredible artist. They do some awesome work with making digital art look and feel very traditional. And let me just kind of showcase some of the stuff that we've worked on for people who are coming in here. But yeah, make sure you click that icon, guys. Shout out to Jens. He's, again, super awesome artist, dope artist. And thank you everybody who's been following today. Ace Brand, the Glitchbot, Benjamin Buzzetta, and everybody else. I did an intro earlier, so I'm gonna do a brief intro right now. If you guys are coming in here from the raid, welcome in. My name is Ksam. I teach art on Twitch, everything from anatomy, perspective, gesture, and all things related to character design. And I also currently work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. And so yeah, if you guys are interested in some free art education or just looking for a stream to play on the side while you work or do your drawings and stuff, leave a follow. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. And I also got a dog who sleeps here all day. That's literally all he does. But yeah, that's kind of me. Today we're actually going over some anatomy of the torso. So I host a boot camp on my streams. It's free to join. Everybody can hop in. We're currently on day 7. And so the first 6 days of my boot camp focus primarily on drawing the head and the anatomy of the head. Starting today, day 7, which is actually a great time to join. We're going to be going over the torso, but today's going to be more of an introductory day, so I'm not going over any of the anatomy just yet. We're going to go over more of the simplified shapes, and then I'm thinking maybe Monday stream or even Saturday stream we'll actually go over all the anatomical groups of the front side of the torso first, and then the back side of the torso. And so we'll go over stuff like the clavicle, the sternum. We'll go over the rib cage. We'll go over the pectoral muscles, biceps, deltoids, triceps, ridge muscles. Well, actually, we're going to save arms for another day, but we'll go over the abdominal muscles. We'll go over the obliques, the lats, the trapezius. We'll go over everything. So if you guys are looking for something like that, I hope you guys enjoy my stream. Before the raid, I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about something. Also, frog glasses, welcome back in. Frag glasses, what's wrong with me today? Frog glasses, welcome back. How have you been? And then earlier, I was just showing people the draw it in your style that I was working on. I know some of you guys like that kind of stuff. So yeah, me when I'm fragmented, yeah, mood. Me all day, every day. I'm out here. Okay, so let's kind of go in and let me just color this one out. But again, you can really have fun with a lot of these shapes. And so we talked a bit about the general forms and structures, but now what I'll also talk about with you guys is how to actually maybe push some of these things just a little bit further. So you can definitely go, you know, you can get away with being stylistic with your anatomy. You don't have to follow it one-to-one. So sometimes for like female characters, I like to maybe give her a little bit more of a hip hop there, you know, just kind of showcase the the proportional differences between the hips and the rib cage, you can do that. You know, it's really up to your style. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to approach these kind of things. You know, just have fun with it. And the moment it starts looking weird for you is when you can, you know, take a step back and say, okay, maybe this is not the vibe. So let me go in here. What do you think? Should I leave the torso like this, or should I put the bra? Should I put her like sports bra on? What do you guys think? Probably fine, right? No bra? You guys are wild. You guys got no fear out here on Twitch, huh? This is how I get canceled on Twitch. Is this how the waifu streamers feel like? People in chat are just like, no bra, no bra. Let him free, KSim. Hey, yo. Actually, though, hey, yo. What the heck? It's Twitch. We lost our fear long ago. True. I like seeing the form of clothes on figures, so I vote for the bra. Kelly, there you go. See? We got somebody here who is thinking about me not getting banned on Twitch. Okay, well, here's what I'll do. I can color it on, maybe. We'll see. I think this is fine. Honestly, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Okay, there you go. So hopefully this this little mini kind of demo here was helpful to you guys. I think we can move on from here, and I think if we have time, we can go back in and talk about the anatomy if you guys want. Like, I'm not opposed to talking about the anatomy and stuff. We'll just imagine the bra. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's do... You know what? I feel like it's off. I feel like it's off if she does. I don't know. I feel like, am I crazy? I think it's off if she doesn't have something here. Let me go like this. Look at me being so cautious. I'll try it, and if I don't like it, we'll just keep it off. I just feel like after shading in and coloring her coloring in her panties, I feel like we kind of have to add it a little bit here. What do you guys think? He succumbed to the bra. Kelly, it was you. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters out here, guys. Okay, there you go. We'll do it like that, okay? Happy? Happy? Is that okay? Yeah, it's like, your voice matters, guys. KSM ignores 90% of chat and listens to one person. Welcome to Twitch, baby. That's how Twitch works. Let's see here. There you go. Okay. Okay, so we went over this one right here. Let's go in and do another one. You're very fast. I can't keep up. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I actually thought I was going kind of slow today, but if you guys are telling me I'm going too fast, I can try to go slower. I can try to slow things down a little bit more. All right, but let's go ahead and do the let's go do the male anatomy here, and then we'll do different body types. I think we're on a good pace. Because I have to remember that I have to also draw all of these today. So I want to make sure we get to as many as possible today. Otherwise, I'll be sad that we're behind. Okay, there you go. But yeah, welcome in everybody who's coming in here. Hopefully you guys are having a good Thursday and or possibly Friday already. But okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go skip over all the structural stuff that we talked about, but instead I'll go over maybe another way that you can visualize the form of the torso. Again, there are so many different ways to draw the anatomy of the torso, but I would generally say, as long as you're capturing the large volumes of the rib cage and the pelvis, I think those are the most important things. Hey buddy. My dog, look what he's doing here. What are you doing, buddy? Try to draw with like one hand here. Petting my dog. He's being needy. What was I saying? Right, so there are so many different ways to draw the torso. So here I'll show you guys a more boxy approach. I think for the last one we did more of a kind of a rounded approach and stuff. And so I think there's so many different ways, and it really depends on your style preference, but also sometimes it depends on the use case. So I think for me, whenever I'm drawing female characters, I tend to lean more towards rounder shapes, because I feel that oftentimes, you know, female characters are going to be a little bit more rounder. They're going to have less jagged, sharp, boxy shapes. Whereas maybe a male character like him, I'm going to be using more kind of angular shapes here to kind of denote this guy. And so again, it all really depends on your preference, but also it can depend on each character. Maybe one character you do a more boxy look, and the other ones you don't. Oh, here's Puppy Power Redemption from Nova. Okay. Hey, thanks for the follow. Soren Shrike, and everybody else who's here. Pavier, Pepe Perez, thank you for the Prime sub. Weeb Design. I'm good. Honestly, I was telling you guys earlier today on stream how I think the beginning of my week was honestly kind of like a 4 out of 10. I didn't really feel too good. Not physically, just kind of like mentally. I felt a little exhausted. But I think after going out to that drink and draw yesterday, I feel a lot better. So yeah. How about you guys? Out of curiosity, guys, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I know I asked this in the beginning of the stream, but you know, it's a little bit later. There's more of you guys here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you guys feel today about this week? About this week overall? 10 being great, 1 being this sucks. 10 is like, this is the best week of the year so far. Can't get better than this. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the follow, Maria. Wish we had those drink and draws here. I mean, maybe we could do it live on Twitch. Everybody get your drink of choice, you know? And yeah, and then we play some figure drawing or something, and you guys can just draw and drink along. I don't know. We could try something like that if you guys are down one of these days. Maybe during my like if we did like a subathon or something. I don't know. That'll be fun. I think it'd be hectic for sure. A lot of you guys are saying 5. It's like a midweek, you know. Week overall has been about an 8. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Yeah, I would say for the most part it's been about a 4, and then I think today is more of like an 8, so it rounds out to like a 7. And you know, this comment right here, I think this is it. Honestly, I was wondering why I was getting so stressed, and I think it's genuinely just taxes. Man, it's really tax season. It's rough out here, especially because I did so much freelance last year and I didn't do a good job of tracking all my income and all my expenses. And so now I have to go through all my emails. I got to go through all my invoices. Oh, sheesh. It's so tiring, man. Tax season. Get me out. Why do they do this to us? But yeah. It's been a real struggle. You're there? Yeah, shout out to my my fellow adulterers out here. Not actually, that sounds sus. Adulterers? Never mind. Shout out to my fellow adults in the chat. All right. You know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. Ignore me being a goof out here on Twitch. Huh? Can you also show how to shade the boob area? I'm having trouble with that right now. You know what? We could actually go back in and maybe we'll do that after. I think it's not a bad idea. So we can kind of go in and I'll show you guys how I shade all these forms and stuff. All right. Rise up. All right, rise up, fellow adults. All right. Let's kind of go in and let's kind of lay out the neck and stuff. So if you guys are struggling, by the way, with drawing the neck, I would recommend you check out my other bootcamp videos, or you check out, if you're watching from YouTube, it'll be there on my YouTube channel, by the way. You guys can subscribe and check me out on YouTube. But you guys can check out the videos there where I actually go over, again, I go over so much depth into the neck, because I think the neck is such an important part of drawing the head that people neglect. Like, how many of you guys in the chat have ever drawn a really great face? Right? One of the best faces ever you've drawn. And the moment you try to draw the neck to try to connect it to the torso, it just ruins it because you have no clue what's going on. Put an F in the chat if you've ever had that problem. Because if you have, I'm showing you right now, this is one of the best things you can do. Go study the neck, learn how it works. Because the more you understand the neck, the easier it'll be. Yeah, I'm just clicking random stuff now. But yeah, I would say the neck can be very difficult, and it's honestly something that I struggled with for a very long time. To be honest with you guys, it was something I struggled with for a while until I really sat down with myself and said, "Yo, what the heck is going on with the neck?" Because every time I try to draw it, it just doesn't look good. And part of the reason why oftentimes things don't look good is just because we haven't had enough practice and understanding of that subject to make it look good, right? And you know, sometimes with art you get lucky, right? And we draw something that looks amazing and we're like, damn, this is great. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I made this thing, but it looks good and I'm not complaining. But you know, we can't rely on luck, unfortunately, all the time to you know, to guarantee a good drawing. So that Last of Us stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I stopped showing it on stream because I feel like I've shown it enough times. We did do some I did do some character designs, some ideation stuff for Last of Us, just to kind of have fun with it, you know. Thank you for all the follows today, guys. I never know how thick or how skinny it should be. You know, that's actually not something we talked about on my bootcamp stuff, but we can talk about it like when we talk about the torso and whatnot. Oftentimes I think that the thickness of the neck is very much dependent on the character being either muscular or being more lean, and also dependent on whether or not they're male or female. And these are, again, more generalizations, but usually the male characters will have slightly thicker necks than female characters will. And again, this completely is a generalization. So always feel free to change that up however you see fit. I'm not going to go over the anatomy just yet. But I'm going to start denoting some of the anatomical forms here for you guys, so you guys can start to see some of that here. But we'll have a dedicated day where I'll actually go over the anatomy. All right, so I promise we'll get to it. Just today I'll just be kind of denoting some things just for the sake of shapes and stuff, but I'm not going to actually go over all the details. All right, so I know some of you are like, "Hey Sam, what are these lines? What are you drawing here?" Don't worry about it for now. Okay. Let's see here. That guy looks like you, Ksem. No, he doesn't. Does he? Hold on. Hey, yo, can somebody Photoshop my head? Hey, somebody real quick. Photoshop my head on this guy. Come on. Sorry. Hey, you guys said it, not me. Okay, chat said it, not me. I love it quickly prograde jumps in and out of particular file paintings. True, me too. Kasem, if you're a beginner watching this, besides drawing along, what would you do to get the most out of this boot camp? I would say for those of you who really want to get the most out of this, especially as a beginner, the best things you can do is to really practice these forms and stuff. Yes, draw these, you know, practice drawing along, maybe grab some of your own references. And then the next step, if you really, really want to do it, is start coming up with your own ideas of drawing the torso. So maybe you're here and you're like, you know what, this is cool and all, but how would the torso work if maybe she was leaning forward, right? And so you might go like this and start figuring out the torso that way. And so I would say, you know, like have fun, try different things out and see how much you can understand of these kind of basic primitive stuff, right? And start doing some of that there. Maybe start twisting the forms and stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit. Just not today. Maybe on Saturday stream we'll talk about twisting the torso around and how we'll talk about the flexibility of the spine. And so it's very interesting actually, because the spine has a lot of flexibility moving forward, but not a lot of flexibility going back side to side. It also has a lot of flexibility for twisting. So these are some of the things that you'll kind of see with the anatomy, but we'll talk about that again on another day. Today I just wanted to show you guys more of the shape language and stuff, because I think understanding and getting familiar with the shapes first is really, I would say, the first step. The first step here to getting comfortable with drawing the anatomy of the torso and all that stuff. Don't tempt me, I will. Do it. Let's see the cleanest Photoshop. I look better. You guys don't need to gas me up, all right? Thanks, guys. And thank you for all the follows today. So many follows today. I really do appreciate every one of you guys coming out here. What I struggle with is sectioning the body muscles into parts, because I'm never sure if I'm actually doing it right. Yeah, so should I just go over muscles today? What do you guys think? Do you guys want a little muscle demo? Like, tell me right now in the chat. Do you guys want anatomy? Let me know. Because I was going to hold off because I wasn't sure. I was like, I feel like chat's not ready. I feel like this might be too much for chat. You know, I wanted to ease you guys in, but like, maybe we could do like one. Maybe we could do one out of the 4 today where I go over the anatomy. Should we go over here? Jason Momoa. Should we make his dad bod and give him the Greek god? Or he plays, what does he play in DC? He plays Aquaman. I was going to say Neptune. He doesn't play Neptune. He plays Aquaman. Pleased with the other girl? Okay, but I don't think she's a good example of showing the muscular anatomy. I think she's a great example for showing body fat distribution. I think if we want to go over muscles and stuff, it's going to have to be this guy for sure, because he just has the muscles the most visible. So I think they're going to be the easiest to see. Can't ever get enough anatomy practice, so I say hell yeah, but I also want you to do the bootcamp how you planned it out. Well, it's more just like, I don't know. I'm worried about you guys. I don't know if you guys look, okay, people watching from YouTube, I want you guys to know a lot of people said yes, right? Everyone's saying yes. Everyone's saying yes. A little muscle demo won't hurt. Okay. We'll do one. Okay. We'll do one for this guy because he already has all the muscles there, so it's easier to name. And I'll talk about how to apply it. Oh, actually, here's what we'll do. I think here's what we'll do. I'll do a draw over. I think that might be better. Okay. So let's do a quick draw over of this guy here. And so I'll label. I lowered the opacity, but the nipples don't get lowered. That's funny. Okay, so let's talk about a few things here. One of the first things I want to call out is going to be this clavicle. All right. So if you guys are not familiar with the skeletal anatomy of the torso, I would say the most important ones to remember are going to be the clavicle here, arguably one of the most important bones in the upper body. The clavicle, which is kind of like it's kind of like a bicycle handle. It kind of goes all the way here. It connects to this bony protrusion called the acromion process. So if you actually touch yourself, that sounded sus, but if you actually touch your body right here, you'll find this bony protrusion there of the clavicle. All right. And what's really interesting about that is basically if you go in here with the clavicle, you'll also find this component here of the sternum. You're going to have this connection here of the clavicle, but the sternum is going to kind of go all the way down here. Like so, and that's roughly going to be about the 5th rib cage. And the way that I know this is, again, we talk about these boxes, right? So this box structure, this technique I'm showing you guys, is actually not an arbitrary technique, because again, by understanding how the proportions of, let me go like this, the proportions of this is going to be the same. Hold on, let me erase Jason Momoa a little bit. Okay, so the proportions here of this thing is basically going to be 1/2, right? So from the collarbone, which we just drew, the collarbone / clavicle there, this to this is basically going to be about 1/2. Okay, so they're roughly going to be about the same distance. So, and I'll show you guys again with this guy right here. So this right here is going to be where that 10th rib cage is. How do I know this? Because of the dimples that are on the sides there of his torso. So if you guys, again, touch yourself, I know, sounds sus, but if you touch yourself right here, okay, you'll actually find these dimples right here on each side of your rib, and that's going to be the protrusion there of the 10th rib. Now from the clavicle here to here, halfway mark is usually where that sternum and that 5th rib cage is going to land. But of course, you know, it's going to vary depending on the character and the anatomy and stuff in your overall design. But I would say these are going to be the main points here, right? Now from here, we're going to go use all these little landmarks to actually find one where the nipples land. So again, these are all generalizations, but the nipples usually land also on the 5th rib. And then from down here below, we're going to talk about, I guess we should talk about the humerus bone and stuff too. So you have here, should we talk about all this? I'll save it for another day. But what I'll talk about here is you're going to have the deltoid muscle, which are going to connect to the clavicle right here, or the collarbone, right? And so this deltoid muscle is usually going to be comprised of 3 parts. You have here the upper, the more kind of front-facing portion, the largest middle portion, and then you're going to have the back portion there. So you have the posterior, anterior, and lateral there, sides of your deltoids. And interesting thing to note is that the deltoid is actually going to be sitting a little bit more forward in the arm. So it's not going to actually sit right in the middle of the side of your arm there. It's going to be a little bit more forward, kind of connecting into the humerus bone. Now these connections, guys, are going to go halfway. So there's actually some tendon here. So the tendon goes halfway into the arm, but most of the volume that you're going to see, most of the muscle, is usually about 1/3 of the arm right here. Okay, so just to kind of know if you're curious. So again, the connection goes all the way into the arm there. Now we're not going to go into the rest of the anatomy here, so I'm just going to simplify this one out, and we're going to ignore the biceps and the triceps that we have here. Let me go like this. Like that. And instead, let's go ahead and talk about the pectoral muscles. Now, what's really important to realize here is that the pectoral muscles basically go in and they connect to a couple parts of the body. All right. They're going to connect to the sternum right here, right? They're going to also connect to the 5th rib down here. They're going to connect also to the clavicle right here. So let me actually taper this one out a bit more, like so. And they're going to kind of create this fan-like shape that's going to insert into the arm right there. So what's really cool is the shape kind of starts off right here. You can kind of imagine this first one there. There's going to be another one right here. And let me kind of darken this line so a little bit thicker. And then one right here, and then kind of one more down below here. And that's also going to be comprised of body fat and stuff. Okay, so all of these muscles are going to insert into underneath the deltoid there, but on top of the bicep. Okay. Now going down, I'm not going to do the other side here, but you can kind of just imagine. Going down here, we're going to find that center line. Okay, so here's that center line, simplified center line, boom, boom, boom. As we work our way down the rib cage right here, we're going to actually find that the abdominal muscles, aka the ab muscles, are basically going to originate at that same fifth rib where that nipple area is, and they're going to kind of go down here and taper. Okay, kind of see they're going to taper down here. Now from that taper, this actually goes all the way down to the pelvis, but let's not worry about the pelvis today. Instead, let's talk a little bit about the actual structure of the abs and how the abs work. Now, what's really cool is from the fifth rib sternum right here, you can kind of imagine there's an arch here for the torso and the rib cage. Now you can sometimes for characters, you're going to see this arch pretty clearly, and this will be known as the Greek arch. Or the Roman arch. Basically, it's a common arch you'll see in a lot of Greek sculptures. So this is why they call it that. But it's basically this arch that's created from the rib cage itself. Now, there's another arch, actually. Sorry, I think this is the Greek arch. The Greek arch is the one from the first set of abs, and they go kind of down like this. So how do I find that first set of abs? Usually the first set of abs for me are going to be about almost halfway from the fifth rib down here to the 10th rib. All right, so a little bit of a halfway mark there. Next, going down a little bit below there. So from kind of a little bit below the 10th rib, it's up to you really, is where that second set of abs kind of lock in, right? And then last but not least, you have that third set of abs right here, which usually lands somewhere around the belly button, but it really depends. This portion right here is not actually the abs that are commonly known as the six-pack. This is more of the 40 ounce, the lower portion there of the abdominal muscles that taper down into the pelvis. But the last thing I want to call out for you guys is right here. This is going to be something on the side of the muscles is going to be called the serratus muscles. All right. So on the side of the body, there's going to be intersections of two muscle groups, the serratus muscles and the abdominal muscles. Now the serratus muscles are really cool because they actually, I'll show you guys in a diagram really quick. I think this one right here. Perfect. So the serratus muscles are really cool because they basically because in a lot of muscular characters, you're going to be seeing this zigzag pattern, especially when their arm is raised and that skin and fat really kind of get stretched out and stuff. So clavicle there, find that arch here. And then from here, we're going to go kind of do this zigzag pattern where the serratus muscles are going to kind of lock in here like this. Then you're going to have the oblique muscles locking in and actually connecting with the abdominals or the ab muscles that we have here. So you can kind of see us locking in here like so. Then we're going to wrap that serratus again. Then we're going to lock in again here. And you can kind of start seeing now, ooh, nice little abdominal muscles there. We're going to do one more lock in here. And then we'll have one kind of final fan out here. And it depends on how lean the person is. So this guy's a lot bulkier. And so you have here the lower flank portion of the obliques instead wrapping around there. But that's basically the side of the muscle that we have. This then tapers down and there you go. That is the anatomy of the upper torso, at least the front side, right? We haven't talked about the backside just yet. I would say the backside of the anatomy is a little bit more complicated, but this is going to be the structure here of the anatomy. All right. Let me know in the chat if you guys found this helpful. I'm always trying to, see what you guys find helpful and don't find helpful. All right. Helped out a bunch. Yeah. Again, I think the main components really are going to be the main components I think are going to be comprised primarily of understanding the proportions, right? This is why I emphasize so much on those proportions, because I think those proportions are really what's going to carry your illustration further and really give you the understanding that you need to have when it comes to drawing muscles. Because sometimes, maybe you draw your muscles out and the names and stuff, but they don't look right. It almost looks like you're drawing like a diagram of muscles, right? Because I think what's most important is not showing every single muscle, but instead showing the ones that are most important and showing where they are. So like I've been there. If you guys take a look at my earlier drawings when I was first learning anatomy, I like made every single character look really buff and I drew every single muscle line because I thought that that's how you showcase your understanding of the anatomy. But really, the true understanding of anatomy is being able to do all that and realize that you don't have to showcase everything, right? As long as you get the proportions in the right place. And as long as you get the volumes to look right and feel right, that I think is actually way, way more important. But let me highlight a few things here just to kind of showcase the colors for you guys. I'm just going to pick some arbitrary colors here. Wow, thanks for the follows. Nova, Lin, X Mika, and Untitled, Untilted OA. Could you repeat the thing about the obliques? I would, but we gotta move on, unfortunately. So instead, what I would recommend is check me out on YouTube and follow my YouTube channel because that's where I'm going to be posting all these videos and stuff and tutorials, so you guys can watch these back as many times as you want, leave comments, all that good stuff over on my YouTube channel. But appreciate you guys. Amanda, thank you for the follow too. Will you talk about hands in the next time? Not yet. So hands will be, we're going to talk about hands when we actually get to drawing the arms. So the way that I want to structure it with you guys is we're going to do torso first, then we're going to do upper arms, then we'll do lower arms with hands. Okay. So I think these are all very large components that I feel like deserve their own time. And so I want to make sure we get those right first before anything else. Okay. I just want to make this look nice here. I'll label it out. Okay. There we go. Again, these are going to be the deltoids. These are the pectorals. What was purple? Purple is the abdominals. We got here the obliques. And then last but not least, we have the serratus. We'll go over anatomy more in depth later, and so we'll go over both skeletal and muscular anatomy probably in another stream. But since a lot of you guys had questions and really wanted to see the anatomy today, I can't ignore chat's wishes. Chat gets what it wants always. So there you go. Let's go in here and let's kind of wrap up this drawing here, and I'll show you guys how I simplify some of the anatomy because we're not going to draw all the anatomical forms, right? Thank you for the prime sub, Captain. Appreciate that. When did you start learning anatomy? Does it take a lot of time to actually understand it? I think it depends because honestly, I think I studied anatomy like 4 to 5 times in my career as an artist. The first time I learned it was just for myself, like, self-taught, the usual, let me just look stuff up myself, muscles, go on Google search, anatomy of arm, right? And you see all these diagrams. And I thought that by copying those diagrams that I was understanding the anatomy. The second time I tried to learn anatomy was when I was in art school. And I took a class at Art Center where they tried teaching us the anatomy. But back then, I didn't understand it either because I wasn't ready for it. And so it actually took me, I think, my third time to really understand the anatomy and realize that it was what's more important than understanding all the names and stuff of the anatomical forms is actually just understanding what these muscles do and how they insert into the body. I think that is way, way, way more important and will actually give you more bang for your buck. than trying to remember all the names as if it was just some diagram, right? But again, that's just my personal take. And I always tell people, like, if you don't understand it the first time, that's completely fine. I think these are called fundamentals for a reason. You know, just because you learn it once doesn't mean you're not going to revisit it again. I think these are the kind of things that you will visit multiple times in your span, in your journey of being an artist. So don't feel bad if you're like, man, KSM, I tried learning it, but I didn't understand it. That's okay. That's actually pretty normal, I would say. Let's see here. He'll probably talk about it later when we talk about arms. You're talking about the hand stuff? Yeah. We'll get to hands when we're actually focused on it. I think hands are tough. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think hands are tough. It's something that I still battle with on occasion. You know, I think doing hands is like, once you understand the structure of the hands, it then becomes a question about stylization and like, how do you want to represent the hands? Because hands, I would say, are just as gestural and just as emotive as faces are. And so getting really good hands in can actually really, I would say, sell an illustration, right? But we'll talk about it. We'll definitely get into hands at some point, so don't worry. KSM, be on. You were learning anatomy by touching yourself. Look, I know we joke about this, okay, and I know it sounds sus, but look, actually touching your body and understanding how your body works is one of the best ways to learn anatomy. This is no joke, and I know this is gonna sound crazy to some of you guys, but if you actually go to the gym and like work out your muscles, you will know right away where the biceps are, how the biceps work. You're gonna find out quickly how the pectoral muscles work, because you're exerting those muscles and you can feel them. You can actually like touch them and be like, damn, okay, this is the bicep. It's not over here on my shoulder, it's right here on this part of the arm, and you only see it bulging when you're flexing this way. You get what I'm saying? And so I always tell people, like, yeah, like, I know it sounds silly, but like actually understanding your own body and understanding the anatomy can really, I would say, really help out a lot when it comes to developing a better understanding of anatomy overall for your art and stuff. Feeling this is why, look, man, this is why I was cautious about the anatomy. I knew you guys are gonna be like, yo, KSM said to touch himself. What the heck? Ban this streamer off of Twitch. Guys, this is a speed run. This is a get banned off of Twitch speed run right here. How to get your stream canceled. Buy a mirror and keep it next to your workstation. True, that's actually true. You know, get a mirror, take a picture of yourself. I do that all the time. Fun fact, I know this is gonna sound silly. Also, thank you for the dance party break, Shirley. We'll do it during the ad break. Okay, so you guys remember that draw it on your style I showed you guys earlier? If you guys don't know, I'm currently working on a draw it on your style for this year. I try to do one a year for everybody, and it's been a long time since I've drawn my original character, but I'll show you guys really quick because I showed it earlier and I figured why it might as well. When will I end stream? In about an hour and a half, so we got some time. So I'll show you guys really quick. So this is the draw it on your style I'm working on right now. Again, this is super early. All right, super early draw it on your style, so keep that in mind. But this right here, believe it or not, I took a photo of myself doing this pose, and yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do. All right, that's what you got to do for your drawings. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now for the draw it on your style. Stay tuned for you guys who want to do this challenge and stuff. It's probably going to be done in about a week or so. I'm trying to do it in my free time, which I honestly don't have too much free time for. But yeah, this is my character Kai from my webcomic. My old retired webcomic, Ground Zero. Show the photo? Don't, no. If I don't have a style, can I just attempt to copy it? Yeah, definitely. And in some ways, copying it will probably showcase your own style. You know, that's completely fine. Draw this in your style. I haven't done one of those bad boy challenges in a long time. Let's see here. That means you were naked when you take the photo? No, not necessarily, guys. Not necessarily, okay? So it was I was clothed, okay, but I did not wear a lot of clothing. I'll just say that. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. All right. That's not the point of why I was trying to show you guys, to let you guys know that it's completely fine to use references. I think especially when you're doing something complicated, like a complicated pose or a complicated shot, it can be very helpful to do some reference taking, you know, take some photos. That was the purpose. All right. And Mincy's ripped under that orange shirt. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. All right. Let's just let chat imagine that I got the gains underneath here. Free the nipple. Kasem after hours. Yeah, apparently, dude, today's stream is giving me Saturday vibes. I'm not gonna lie. The energy today is wildin'. You guys got that Saturday energy. Anyways, let's go ahead and color. Let's go ahead and color this one out really quick. We finished another breakdown here. We did a few things, a few good things that I like. We went over some of the anatomy. We went over some of the basic forms, and then we went over, I think, some of the shape language a little bit. We kind of went over some shape language. You can't find the worksheet that you're using. Oh, right. So if you guys, I just totally forgot. By the way, this is for those of you who are new and coming in here. I teach art on Twitch, but basically you can grab all the worksheets and cheat sheets that I am showcasing on stream free on my Discord channel. Here's the worksheet that we're working on under art resources. Okay. And then there are 2 cheat sheets that you guys can grab as well. This one is the head anatomy sheet, which covers the basic shapes, skeletal anatomy, proportions, and how to connect the head to the neck. And then here I gave you guys another one that I made a while back, actually. And this one's more on the skeletal muscular anatomy of the torso. All right. They're free to grab on my Discord channel, but only while I'm live. So make sure you catch that while I'm live. If you're watching from YouTube right now and there's a YouTube video, I'm sorry. It's probably not going to be there. But hey, maybe check me out on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching from YouTube, come through. The live streams are dope. I would argue the live streams are better than the YouTube videos. That's just me. Streamers, do subs get special access? Yeah, so subscribers, you guys will basically get permanent access. So you guys get access to my cheat sheets offline. So that's kind of the sub perks. If you subscribe to my stream, you'll get access to all the resources and all the video content offline. So you don't have to be, I don't have to be live for you to grab that stuff. And then I'm also going to be, I haven't done it yet because I've just been so busy, but I'll be uploading the PSD files as well. So I'll be uploading the actual full files and all the layers. So that way you guys can download these as well if you want to grab the full layer of these things. So you could imagine all of the stuff you're seeing. Subscribers will get that. And the reason why I'm doing that is I basically got rid of my Patreon, and I just brought everything over to Twitch because I realized like it can be a hassle for people to have to watch me on Twitch, but then, you know, do stuff on Patreon or whatever. So I wanted to just put it all in one place for you guys. So if you subscribe, it's basically like subscribing to my Patreon. But I don't have a Patreon. Galactic Gem, Tuna, thank you guys, appreciate it. Can I be excited about something I'm able to do? Yeah, what's up? I know we're in chest muscles, but when is leg muscles? Probably in 2 weeks, I would say, give or take 2 weeks. Because we're gonna do arms first. We're gonna do upper torso, then we're gonna do arms, and then we're gonna do legs. So I would say maybe in 2 weeks. Have the resources been updated for Twitch? Not yet. This week I'm planning on doing it. I again, guys, I apologize because tax season has really taken up so much of my time. Ugh, taxes. So I've been spending most of my weekends trying to sort all that stuff out. But I will get to uploading all that stuff eventually. So appreciate you guys' patience on that. Nice, that's super cool, DJ. When are you expecting to do hands? Well, I'll do it when I am covering arms. So arms will be joined in with hands. So we'll be doing that. Cool. Alrighty, but with that being said, let's go ahead and move on now to the next what's it called, drawing here. Hopefully you guys are finding this helpful, and this is fun. All right, let's go talk about let's talk a little bit about body fat distribution. We're not going to go super in depth today about body fat distribution, but I did want to at least highlight some of the general shapes and stuff, because maybe not every character you're going to draw is going to be muscular. Some of them might be really skinny, some of them might be fat, right? And so understanding these variances can really be helpful. And so let's go ahead and tackle these two, and I'll talk a bit about where the body fat is distributed, because you'll actually be surprised that the body fat does vary from male to female. So females will basically accrue fat in different areas much more easily than males will in certain areas. By the way, guys, really quick, I do run ads on my stream every hour, and one's going to be running right about now. So if you do get an ad, thank you again for sticking around for the ad break. And yeah, if you guys don't want to see any ads, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub. But either way, thank you for your support, and I hope to see you guys after the ad break. But okay, let's go ahead here, and you'll find that even though the character body type is going to be a little different, I'm still going to do the same approach, right? So for this character, because again, he's a male character and he's pretty boxy for the most part, I'm going to start off with some primitive shapes here, just some primitive boxes to get ourselves working on the torso and all of that stuff, right? I also chose just this photo of Jason Momoa. It was the first photo that they gave me, honestly. So I was like, okay, Jason Momoa, why not? There you go. So let me go do a few things. Again, just working on the basic shapes. And there are so many, I just want to reiterate here that there are so many different ways to draw the torso. You can draw the torso round, you can draw the torso rectangular, you can draw the torso with a little bit more complexity in the forms. It's really up to you and your preference. And so find the one that makes the most sense to you. And again, also, you don't have to just stick with one style. Right, I tend to mix it up and stuff, and I find different approaches all the time. So here's kind of that simplified form, a simplified box that we have here. But let's kind of go in now, and from that little simplified box that we have, let's go in and actually draw out some of the details for this. And let me actually flip the canvas, maybe. No, we'll keep it like this. There you go. Good old Jason Momoa. All right, so what I like to do always is starting off with the clavicle. You'll notice actually with this character here, or not this character, this reference, some of the muscles or some of the underlying definition of muscle that we had with this guy is not going to be as visible because you're seeing a lot more body fat overall, right? And so I like to always start off with the wrapping of the arms here, because if you can get the arms, or at least the upper portion of the arm here, in place, you're going to actually understand kind of where the connections of the rest of the body are going to be as well. Now, the reason why I'm including the deltoids in this torso anatomy, even though it's not, even though, you know, the deltoid is more part of the arm, or when people think of the deltoid or shoulder muscles, they're thinking the arm, right? The reason why is because the deltoid actually is mostly connected to the clavicle right here, which is part of the torso, and also the pectoral muscles that we have here. These muscles also interact with that deltoid muscle there, and they actually insert into that deltoid. So I think it's important to know, if you're going to study the torso, make sure you're also studying the what's it called, the deltoid. Don't neglect that portion there. And hey, thank you for the follow, Shiny Blossom. Let me actually give a quick intro of myself, since it's been about an hour since I last did an intro. But yeah, welcome in everyone who's coming in today to the KSIM crew. My name is KSIM. I am a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy to gesture, perspective, and all things related to character design. I also currently work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania, and right now I'm prepping to work as a character designer for shows like Castlevania, Legend of Korra, and Invincible. So if you guys are interested in anything related to free art education, or you just want to hang out with my dog and me on a stream while you're working, or you're drawing or something, make sure to leave a follow. If you're watching from Twitch, subscribe, and all, or no, if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy today's stream. It's educational all day, every day out here on my streams. We don't hold back on the educational stuff. And actually, for those of you who did find me today, for those of you who followed me today and stuff, I would love to know how you guys actually came across my stream today. Was it from recommended? Was it from the front page? Did a friend tell you about it? Did you just stumble upon this randomly? You were scrolling through the art category and you saw dad bod Jason Momoa? Like, what brought you here? All right, let me go work on the neck here. So sometimes what I like to do for the neck, and I'll show you guys a really quick and easy kind of technique, is I'll start off by just placing in the sternocleidomastoid. If you don't know what that muscle is, again, I would recommend just checking out the video where I go over neck muscles and stuff a little bit more. We're just going to simplify that a little bit. Recommended for you guys from page, really, damn. Nairfex, welcome in. From the recommended too, huh? That's not really a dad bod though. Yeah, he's definitely got like a bulk, okay? But I would say this is getting closer to dad bod, okay? Between Aquaman, Jason Momoa, and this, I would say this is like his version of a dad bod, okay? I would say this is probably his more bulking season than anything. But I would categorize his dad bod as this. I saw a very handsome man drawing and I had to check it out. You mean this one? Or are you talking about this one? This drawing? Wanted something to watch while working and scrolled through, saw in the art category. Sweet. Yeah. I try to make my streams co-working friendly. Try to keep the energy not too crazy that you guys get distracted, right? I think like educational content is not super distracting. Like you can be as invested as you want, or you can just kind of check out, play me on the side, whatever. I think that's what I like about teaching and like doing educational content on Twitch is like, I feel like I don't have to be overly entertaining and crazy and all of that stuff. I kind of keep it nice and chill with you guys out here. Those KSIM reference photos? No. You're not getting any of those reference photos ever. I don't think I will ever be releasing my own reference photos. Well, actually, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there will come a time, all right, guys, when money is low and OnlyFans is knocking at my door and they're like, hey, you ever thought about putting reference packs for yourself on OnlyFans? Look, you never know, okay? Times might get real rough in this economy, so sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm kidding. I would not do that. Didn't you do a live drawing portion of one of your 24-hour streams? Yeah, but I wore a bodysuit. Okay, that's a little different. I feel like I don't know. I feel like wearing a bodysuit is not the same as literally giving out naked pictures of myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just a whole different ball game there. That's a whole different thing. Putting on a muscle suit, that's like, okay, it's basically clothes. 1,000 subs for pics. Yo, what is this? This is not a hot tub stream. What are you guys talking about? Yo, you guys are wild. Plus, we got all of these references. We don't need all of that. Found you there looking at the art category. Super awesome, Nova. Appreciate that. And thank you for the follows, Melina and Cyber Menace and Barusha. I'm glad you guys decided to follow despite chat being wild today. Y'all are like, okay. I swear we're a regular stream out here, okay? We're a regular community. We're chill. We're not wild at all. Kind of a little wild, but honestly, I think we're one of the more chiller streams. Thank you for the prime sub, Redfield. Appreciate that. I've avoided coming in here when I want to work because it's a bigger stream. How wrong I was is perfectly chill, and I'm learning a ton. Thanks for putting it together like this. Oh, really? Yeah, that's actually super interesting. I've never heard that, where people are like, I don't know if I want to click on a bigger streamer because I feel like they'd be super distracting. Which actually, now that I think about it, I can actually see that being very distracting. But no, I try to keep my streams pretty chill. We have our moments, 100%, but for the most part, no, we're pretty chill out here. If there's anything that's crazy, it's chat. Chat is where 95% of the energy comes from on my streams. It's you guys just being goofy, doing wild things, you know. Can you sell your own pictures for references on OnlyFans? Look, again, if there's ever a time where I really need to do something like that, I might, okay, but right now I'm good. I'm okay right now financially. I think I don't need to be coming over at OnlyFans making exclusive content. Oh man. Yo, you see my dog, guys? What is this? What is that posture that he has right now? What is he doing? He looks so silly. Eh? What color? Why is it red? All right, let's talk a little bit about body fat distribution. All right, a quick little tutorial about body fat distribution and all that good stuff out here, because I think it's important to learn. I think it's important that you have diversity in your character designs, and not every character looks like an anime waifu or, you know, like some super young, hot, attractive male model, right? Look, I know some of you guys are like, Kasem, that's what I like. I get it. If that's what you like to do, if that's your style and that's all you care about, that's completely fine. But for those of you guys who are looking to get into character design, you want to work professionally in the industry and stuff, I gotta break it to you guys, okay? Not every character you're gonna draw is gonna be some Greek god or some you know, big booba anime waifu. You gotta be able to diversify, and one of the easiest places you can start is by understanding some of the body fat distribution that we have here. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's actually lay it down right here. First, let me go in here and color this one out, and I'll highlight the areas where it's most common to see body fat distribution here. So you're saying there's a chance. There is a chance. Yes, there are going to be some industries that are going to be like, hey, we only want you because you draw anime waifus. Like, I'm not saying those jobs don't exist. If you want jobs like that, I would say look into the mobile game industry. Yo, they foam from the mouth for anime waifus, man, because they know that's what people click on. They're like, you won't last 2 minutes playing this mobile game. And you know what it is. It's like 95% physics, boob physics. The game itself is complete trash. but yet people still click on it. You know what I'm saying? People still are like, okay, you know what? I could try this game. So I think if you only want to draw anime waifus your whole career, which is fine, again, nothing wrong with that. Those are going to be some of the industries you want to look at. But I'm assuming not everybody here only wants to draw anime waifus, right? I'm sure some of you in the chat want a little bit of diversity in your designs, right? You're looking to mix things up a little bit. So if you are, there you go. Thank you, Micah, for the bits. Appreciate that. K-Sam, I missed Puppy Power. Oh, I did I? Oh, my bad, guys. Here's a Puppy Power Redemption. K-Sam keeps clicking on those ads. No, I don't. I've never clicked on those ads. I have never clicked on any of those ads. You seem to have a lot of experience. I just know people who do. You know what I'm saying? I know people who click on those ads. Me personally, I would never. I would, but if I did click on those ads, I would definitely last more than 5 minutes playing those games. Okay, I'd last like 10, 15 minutes. But I don't know. I never tried. Never been curious. All right, those games can't fool me. Oh man, I'm trolling, guys. Anyways, moving the conversation here. Let's get into talking about the anatomy. All right, or not the anatomy, the body fat distribution here that we got. Welcome in, everybody. 15 minutes. Hey there. Whoa. That's a lot of time. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and color this one out, and then I'll go walk you guys through common areas of body fat, and I think we'll be good to go, honestly, with this one. And then we have enough time to squeeze in. I think we'll have definitely enough time to squeeze in another drawing of the female body, which I think actually is a great example. This is I'm going to enjoy working on that one. That's going to be a fun one. All right, let me go ahead and highlight this one really quick, and then we'll go over some body fat distribution stuff. Asking for a friend. Is it? Possibly. Buck Jack, thank you for the follow, and also Mike Ski Pass. Thank you for the 100 bits again. Appreciate that. Thank you for picking a less mainstream body for. Of course, yeah. I mean, you guys don't even like. Well, maybe you guys do know, but like, there are so many times where I've been asked to draw characters that are not your conventional, you know, young adult, very fit, athletic model type character. Like those maybe will happen a few times, but more often than not, you're going to be asked to draw a wide range of characters. And so, you know, on my streams, I don't just want to teach you guys how to draw buff characters or slim characters, right? I want to be able to show you guys how to draw any type of character that you want to draw, as long as you are willing to try. Okay. Just gonna go in here, add his little pants. And I think I'm forgetting something important. There you go. Can't forget that. The nippies. Alrighty. So with that being said, though, let's go in and talk about body fat distribution. And yeah. Is there a color palette available to help match on the colors used? Oh, you're saying you want my color palette? I think you might be the first person ever to ask about my color palette. You want my color palette? Why not? Sure. Here are the 3 colors I like to use. There you go. DDD5D3, C9B3AF, and 8A7675. These are like the colors I always use for like coloring, just doing color blocking. They're a little bit better than your standard. I personally like them better than your standard grayscale colors. So I use this all the time whenever I need to block in simple color values. So I did this yesterday at a figure drawing session that I was at, where I was just blocking in quick values. And so I do like to have like a little bit of warmer tone, kind of grayscale, but you know, adds a little bit of color. Nice little touch. Yeah, there's you probably just have to rewatch that part, but that's okay. That's what the videos are for, and the YouTube videos and the VODs. But all right, let me go ahead and what's the best way to do this? I will merge it together. Yes. And then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring it over here. Or actually, no. I don't want to do that because I might lose out on the, hold on. I see the error in my ways. I'm going to go ahead here first and duplicate all of these, group these. Okay, duplicate that. We're going to move that here for now. And then on this layer here, I'm going to highlight the areas where you're going to see some common body fat distribution. Okay, so for the male figure, common areas where you're going to be seeing body fat are going to be in the lower portion there of the obliques. These are called the flank portion there of the obliques. Am I in the wrong layer? Yeah, I am in the wrong layer. Which one is this one? This one? Okay, we'll do it here. No, I'll do it on... Sorry, give me a sec, guys. We'll move it here. Okay, cool. All right. So the common areas where you're going to be seeing some body fat distribution are going to be, again, the portion here, the obliques. And so as the body fat percentage of the male figure goes up, or the male person goes up, these are going to be the common areas, like the first areas where you're going to be seeing the body fat really being stored. So right here in the kind of lower booba area there. Other areas where you're going to be seeing as well is going to be the gut. So this gut area is going to be a pretty common area for, I'll do it in a different color, but another pretty common area there for getting body fat stored there. So I'm just gonna highlight that as a different color here. Let me think what else. I'll change the color of this too. Why not? Just to differentiate it a little. I think these are going to be the most common areas for body fat distribution in the male figure. How do you get the fill to not go into the white when you do the flanks? Secret magical sauce. No, I use a clipping mask. That's all I'm using. Clipping mask here. Okay, and that's about it. So again, this is body fat distribution. All right. So the larger your characters are going to get, the more commonly you'll see the body fat stored here. You know, first places. Let's see here. And hey, welcome in, Booing Jaden. Thank you for the follow, and also Roo. Welcome in. Have I ever thought about drawing monsters? Yeah, it's on my to-do list. I just haven't had time. But yes, I would love to draw monsters at some point. All right. Let's go put this one away. I hope I have enough layers because we're really going through so many of these today. And let's see here. Let's move on to this one. Give her a bit more space here. But I want to take this time to do a quick pause and just see how you guys are feeling. Are you guys good so far? Am I going over a lot of stuff, or is it okay? Are we at a good pace, guys? Let me know in the chat how you guys are feeling. Jacklops, thank you for the follow too. Appreciate that. I clicked on this channel out of curiosity on the Twitch recommendation. I only wanted to stay 5 minutes, but that was an hour ago. Thank you, Captain Bay, and you've also subscribed to my streams too, so appreciate you coming in for that. Oh, party break. Oh, we missed it, didn't we? We missed the dance party break. It is fixed, and someone redeemed it actually. But we'll do it on the ad break. I apologize. I know we were supposed to do one. Just someone needs to remind me. So many things go on here. All right, looks like everyone in the chat is chilling today. So let's go over this one. I think this is the one that I'm actually most excited for because I think it's not what you commonly see when you're drawing, and it's definitely not what you commonly see on Twitch. that's for sure. So let's go ahead and start working on this form. And what I like about what I like about drawing larger characters is there's this misconception that the skeletal anatomy of larger characters are going to be different than maybe skinnier characters. What's really cool about the anatomy is that the actual structure of the body, the skeletal anatomy, isn't actually going to be that different. If anything, it's going to be roughly, if not the same. And so the main differences are going to be in how the body fat is going to be distributed and where you're going to be seeing more volume overall. You can say you had already were drawing monsters. Yeah, I mean, I want to draw monsters. That's on my to-do list for sure. And I think maybe after this boot camp is done, I might do a more creature design boot camp or something like that, where we focus primarily on just drawing different types of characters, because I feel like that's something that I think would personally be fun. You know, just having fun with you guys and being like, hey, this week let's try to design some monsters. We'll do some variations, or maybe, hey, let's go design an old character who is a retired pirate. I don't know. You know, they just kind of like mix and match every week or every other week, and we just draw some new things. I think that'd be super cool. But we'll get there. We're not there yet. Thank you for the follow, Captain Lubo, and Doc Wowee. Wowee. All right, so we got here the rough structure again that I'm working with, right? So I'm going to lower that. And you can kind of see this is what I do all the time when it comes to drawing. When it comes to drawing the form and stuff, I try to keep it nice and loose, right? So this is going to be the volume of the rib cage and the volume of the pelvis there, which we talked about earlier today on stream. And now let's just kind of go in and lay out a few of the forms. Maybe we'll lay out that clavicle first, because I'm a big fan of the clavicle. Always one of my favorite volumes to work with. And then from there, let's go in here and start adding in some of the other volumes that we're seeing. So here we're going to find that fifth rib, because again, the fifth rib is where the pectoral muscles work. And if you guys didn't know this, both males and females have pectoral muscles, okay? It's just that the females have boobas. They got more boobas out here, okay? And so you're going to see a lot more of that. But don't forget that females also have a pectoral muscles that will go in there. And that will also still wrap around the sternum. It'll still wrap around the clavicle there, and it will still insert into and under the deltoids. All right, say it, KSM. Say the words. I'm just listening so I can maybe slurp up the knowledge while not trying to get better at all. You know, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. Though I will say this, okay? I will say this. How many times in the chat, guys? Put an F in the chat if you have ever done this before. Put an F in the chat if you have ever watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Maybe you watched 5 minutes, and that 5 minute turns into 10 minutes to an hour of tutorial stuff, right? You're watching all these tutorial videos on YouTube, but you haven't actually practiced the things you're watching, right? You're like, oh yeah, I know all of these things. And then the moment you actually try to do those things, what ends up happening? You're like, damn, wait a minute. I actually don't know what's going on, right? Put an F in the chat if you've ever done that before. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. The reason why I bring this up is because if you guys are watching right now and you're saying, KSM, this is all good stuff, I'm learning a lot. And I want to learn. I want you guys to definitely practice these things, okay? If you want to get better at these things, watching it is not enough, okay? Because until you actually put it to practice, you're not going to actually apply the skills you're learning. I know this is tough to hear. You guys are like, Kasem, what do you mean? You mean I can't just binge watch all day, every day and learn? Unfortunately, yes. Kasem, you're being very rude. I'm sorry, LV. I had to do it. Look, who else is going to call you out here? All right. Who else is going to tell you these things? I'll be the villain. Okay. I will be the villain in your art journey. If it gets you to your art goals, I will gladly be that role for you guys. Tell you the tough things you need to hear. It'd be like putting healthy food in a fridge but never actually eating it. Dude, I've never heard that analogy before, but that's actually a good analogy. It's like watching people exercise and thinking that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fit too, you know? Or like, just because you watch basketball or you watch a sport doesn't mean that you know how to play the sport. Right? Doesn't mean that you're going to be good at the sport. It just means you watch it. You're a fan of it. You're a fan of watching art tutorials. But yes, welcome in everybody's coming in here. Today we are going to be focusing on the upper torso of the body, and the first one right now is going to be, or the last one that we're doing here is going to be on body fat there. So yeah, I don't know. Somebody just typed in fat. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm assuming you're curious about what we're talking about today. And so, yes, we went over all the different body types here, and now we're talking about the fat distribution on this one here. I do try to take days where I just draw noses in something specific, and that's cool. I like that. I think that's a fun little break that you can do there for yourself, you know? Take some time out of your day to practice those videos you're watching. Watching gym videos on loop doesn't get me buff. This is a scam. I know you guys have been fooled. You guys have been fooled by the health industry, by the fitness industry out here. Sorry to break it to you guys. Don't expose me like this. Hey, welcome to the stream. That's what we do out here. So we got to cover men's nipples now too. Hey, look, you never know, guys. All right. You never know in this day and age what you got to cover and what you don't got to cover. So I'm going to play it safe. All right. I'm playing it safe here with you guys because sheesh, you never know. You never know what people are going to be like, yo, male nipples? That's not it. Get that out of here. Ban this man, you know? So we gotta play it safe. I'm chilling. Anyways, going back here. So I'm just kind of going through different areas here, but right now I'm just kind of laying out some of the anatomy and the forms. We're going to go in and kind of just place in the arms here like so. And one of the common things here is as you start drawing more body fat with your characters and stuff, one of the things you're going to see is you're going to see a lot more rounding out of the forms overall. You'll see less kind of delineation of certain things and just kind of a nice kind of gradual gesture there. So kind of like with this arm over here, you can kind of see how that shoulder really starts to blend in there with the bicep and the tricep over there. So it's a nice subtle gesture, nice subtle curve, right? But interestingly enough, if you take a look at the neck actually doesn't have too much body fat compared to everything else in terms of the ratio. And so even though she has a lot more body fat across her body, across the rest of her body, the neck is actually pretty thin in relationship to everything else. So I think this is a common misconception that if you draw like a larger character, they have to have a big neck. Sometimes that could work to your advantage if you want to draw you know, a larger neck and stuff, but I think that is actually more with that has to do more with the trapezius muscles on the side and less with the actual volume of the neck. So you can have a character, you can have her, right, this character here, that doesn't have any like well-defined trap muscles there. She kind of like has like small trap muscles, and that's completely fine, right? And the rest of the body can be still bulky as well. So keep those things in mind. You know, not every character has to have a thick neck, and usually if they do have a thick neck, you'll see the volume here and not necessarily here. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully that made some sense. Oh, shoot. Thank you for the sub. 3 months in advance. Kid Milo, appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. There could be babies watching. Oh, man. It's like those meditation videos that are like, just listen to this every day and you'll be skinny. Really? That's a thing? I've never heard of that. That's insane. Hey, Shadow Wolf, welcome back in. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well here. It's pre-Friday, one of my favorite days of the week. I feel very rejuvenated. I feel ready for the weekend already. Oh man, I can't wait for Sundays. I can watch Last of Us, new episodes of Last of Us all day, every day. Not all day, every day. Only on weekends. Only on Sunday. Okay, let's kind of continue here. So we've got here all of these forms, right, that we've drawn out. And again, just kind of keeping it nice and curved, adding in as much volume as I can to certain areas, and just keeping that roundness, keeping that kind of volume there across the board. And then we're going to go talk about, as we kind of do this, I'll also talk about where the body fat is going to be, predominantly for a female figure like this. And then after all of this, because I think we'll have time today. After we finish this one, I think I can go back with you guys and I can add in some, what's it called? I'll add some shading, because I know earlier you guys were asking about shading, right? Do you guys still want me to do that in the chat? Let me know. Do you guys want me to go over shading these characters or shading the body a little bit? Let me know in the chat if that's something you guys would be down for. Did that private session happen yet? It did not happen yet. They messaged me. They asked me what it was. I told them what it was, and they said, "Oh." I'm pretty sure that's what they said. They said, "Oh." Yeah, they were just like, "Ah." So I don't know. I don't know if that means that they want to do it or not. Like, maybe they just didn't know what they got themselves into. So, yeah, but I will be doing it eventually. Yo, bots, how's it going? Sorry I missed you at the drawing thing last night. Your drawings came out great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't want to bother you because I know you were actually, I think it's funny because I sat right behind you, so you didn't see me, but I was there. But I didn't want to, like, you know, bother you and stuff. You seemed like you were drawing, having a good time. But I sat right behind you. That was a table right there. Favorite quote from Indiana Jones? Oh, yeah, that's kind of the message. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to pressure people to be like, hey, you got to do this, you know, you won this, so you must claim this reward. I keep it nice and chill. Never be a bother. Okay, maybe next time I'll say hi. You know, I go to those things pretty often, so next time I'll say hi. Thank you for the follows, guys. Appreciate that. Isa Blue, Memento Mooney, Weapon of Mass Creation. Welcome back in. But yeah, hopefully you guys are finding today's stream helpful. I thought about doing this because I realized that originally I was just going to go over the anatomy with you guys, but I realized that there's, I don't know, I think it's more important before going over anatomy to just understand body shape and body language, or not body language, but shape language before we jump into all the nuances of the human body, right? Because I think this is more important, to be honest. I think understanding shape and form is actually going to be way, way more beneficial in the long run than understanding every single individual name and muscle group that goes in here. But again, that's just my personal take. We will definitely go over the anatomy, so don't worry about that. And we already did some of that today, actually. But we'll definitely do some more. Let's see here. Talking about neck, you should show neck of George Corpse Grinder Fisher for your followers as example. You want me? Okay, we'll do the Jason Redemption. Sure. Okay, here's the we got a Jason Redemption here.
Hey guys, it's Jason here, and we got a message from Mr. Manfredi. He wants you guys he wants me to talk about the necks with you guys, and says you should check out the neck of George Fisher, also known as Corpse Grinder. What the heck? Yeah, check that out if you're interested. If you are brave enough to check that out. That sounds scary.
There you go. That's your redemption. Corpse Grinder? Yo, what kind of nickname is this? How do you get a nickname like Corpse Grinder? I don't even want to ask. That's just what does someone have to do to get a nickname like Corpse Grinder? Damn. League kids? I don't want to know. I feel that can go many ways. You know what I'm saying? Corpse Grinder could go in two different directions here. Kasem's final form, indeed. Thank you for the follows, guys. DG, Chags, thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Vortex Violet, great name, by the way. Welcome into the Kasem crew, guys. Let me go ahead and wrap up on this one, and then I think we can work on some shading after I lay out the what's it called? After I lay out the forms on this one. Okay, cool. Lay out the leg. Yeah, we laid it out. Thank you for the D shrimp. Everybody right now, if you were watching me with bad posture, fix your posture and put an F in the chat. Thank you for that D shrimp. Boaz. Oh, we needed that stretch. Damn. That's one of the hard things I feel like that I always try to be cautious about since I basically work 12 hours a day from streaming to doing, studio work and stuff. It can get really tiring just sitting in that same position. So a good stretch is always much needed. Okay, this is too many Fs. What are y'all doing out here? This is one too many Fs right here. I can't believe it. Chat, what happened to you guys? This is how I know everybody in the chat's an artist. I feel like there are very few people who have like, there are very few, I think, professions and hobbies that I can think of where like the moment you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, they got bad posture. Art is one of those hobbies where you just know they're an artist. There's like 9 times out of 10, their posture is you're probably looking like a shrimp. It's just the nature of what we do. We're hunched over on our work. We do it for long hours. It's tough. Tattoo artists, yeah, tattoo artists. I feel bad. Tattoo artists, you really gotta dig in there because you kind of have to zoom in. You can't just like look at it from afar. You really gotta be there. Software engineers, yeah, that's true. That's another one. But I think that one's not as bad because I think with engineering, you can definitely also like fix your posture for that. Whereas with drawing, I think it's hard because like part of it is actually looking at what you're working on, right? But yeah, and I agree. I think software engineers, as somebody who used to be a software engineer myself, I can definitely attest to the fact that having bad posture is pretty common. Okay, but let's talk about this one right here. I think this is an interesting one to kind of work on, and an interesting one to talk about with you guys. So let's talk about this one. All right, so let me highlight, or let me color a few things here, and then we'll talk about the body fat distribution on this person here. Long time, same pose. It could hurt, but I love your drawing. Thank you, Boaz. That's why I appreciate you dropping that stretch. Crispy lines and crooked spines. Yep. That's exactly it. That's the name of the game. What did you do to obtain these art skills? And it's just like, you bent over. I sacrificed everything. All right. Here we go. And you know what? I might actually push the form a little bit more. Now that I'm seeing the silhouette here, I definitely think we can kind of push it up a little bit. Give her more hip volume there. She's got a lot of good hip volume there. Actually, good amount. Cool. Alrighty, and then we'll go in here and I'll add another kind of clipping mask just for the pelvis area right there. And we'll do one for the bra as well, because I think part of her boobas are shaped the way they are because of the bra that she's wearing. So I think if she wasn't wearing a bra, it would be slightly different. You would see a lot more of the gravity move it down a bit. So yeah, classical guitarist here, you're back. Damn. Why is this? It just sounds like everyone has back pain at this point. You know what? I think it's just I think it's just our generation. Everyone is on their phones now, right? Everyone's hunched over. It's kind of just the new generation. Okay. Looking pretty good. There you go. Not bad. That was fun. Okay, let's do a quick, I'll go over really quick the body fat distribution here. You see my ancestor was a shrimp? Yeah. Let's see. Cause back issues too. Double trouble. I've heard about that actually. I've heard stories where some women actually get a boob job to reduce the size of their boobs because of back pain and stuff. And I found out about this because of an Instagram reel where a bunch of men obviously were commenting and are like, why would you do this? Why would you make your boobs smaller? And I'm like, bro, come on, you guys don't even understand. What are you guys talking about? You know? Of course it's those those commenters are really wilding out here. But anyways, I'm not complaining. I don't want any of those problems. But all right, guys, let's go talk about the body fat distribution here for the female now. All right. And I'll mention to you guys some of the common areas here where you're going to be seeing some of the fat. All right. Common areas where you'll see most of the fat kind of appear on the human body, or the areas where there will be most change in fat, I should say. Now, what's interesting about, I think, male versus female is I think when it comes to, the female body, the body fat distribution is actually going to be a little bit more towards the center of the abdominals here, and this portion of the fat. And so you'll see kind of more volume up here, and in the body fat distribution, whereas with men, it's going to be a lot lower there, closer to the pelvis. So you'll see the lower portion of the abdominals gain more fat quickly for men, whereas with women, it's going to be kind of this section right there, right? Another kind of, I'll actually try to color code it a little bit better. But another common section here is going to be I think the obliques, surprisingly not as much. You sometimes will, but I would say the obliques not as much. Instead, what you're going to be seeing is that you're going to see a lot of body fat distribution on the lower portion there of the glutes. So the backside of the glutes and the backside of the obliques right here. And then that'll actually wrap its way around into the portion here of the legs as well. So this is where you're going to be seeing more body fat distribution in females, where it's going to be kind of that range there, the backside, because that's where you're going to see some of that volume. So I'll do it like that. And so you'll see that on both sides here, kind of like this range and this pocket of volume going this way. Okay. Maybe not as much here, actually. A little bit going back there. And hey, thank you for the follows, Beyond the Merc and Sofen, and thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that a lot, Chibi Ray. Won't do complete because of the husbands. Oh yeah, it's wild. Let's see here. But all right, let's continue. A couple other places where you're going to see some body fat. Like, again, these are going to be the areas with the most common body fat distribution, right? So this is not like this is by no means not like this is the only place, because I think you can kind of see with this model here that there's a lot of, you know, body fat that occurs, or body fat changes that occur overall, but this is going to be the most, like the first places where you're going to notice the most body fat here. So the other area right here is going to be the boobas. No surprise there. Okay, so there you go. We got some of that, and I would say this is going to be the most common ones, most common areas, I would say. I'm trying to think if there's any other places. I think this is it. This is mostly it. Yeah, under the armpit. So I kind of, that's kind of what I highlighted right here. This little area, hard to see, but because I'm using green. But yes, that is what we highlighted for sure. And thank you for the follow, Galetita Dulce. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm struggling with your name. Thank you for coming in here, Weapon. Appreciate you. What is the little shelf above the stomach called? Where the ribs are? You mean this area right here? So it can be called by a lot of terms. It can be known as the Greek arch. Some people call it that. It's just sometimes also known as the diaphragm area. There's also that too. It depends on what you're referring to. But anyways, let me go ahead here and also show you guys, for those of you who are asking in the chat right now, if you guys do want to follow along, by the way, you guys can grab today's worksheet. It's here on the Discord channel. So these are free to grab right here. There's also this cheat sheet that I made for you guys on the general structure and fundamentals of the head, everything from the skeletal anatomy to the proportions to the jaw, all of that stuff there. And then here we also have the, I gave you guys the anatomy of the torso as well. So again, these are free to grab on my Discord channel, but only when I'm live here on Twitch. If you're watching this afterwards on YouTube and stuff, this might not be here, but maybe come check out my live streams. But yeah, for those of you guys who are here watching live, grab these now. These are free to grab. Okay. Cool. Where do I find these ref photos? Pinterest. Good old Pinterest. What about the fat on the sides? So again, this is going to be the most common areas where you're going to be seeing fat distribution happen first. And so interestingly enough, between male and females, there's actually going to be more body fat, quicker body fat distribution for the males when it comes to the side of the obliques. But for women, what you're seeing here, this body fat right here, this right here, this is actually caused by the glute muscles on the side and the back. So there's the glute, or that area of the glute muscles. So, and also the back side of the obliques. So the back side there of the obliques are going to kind of get that fat right there. And you'll start seeing that on the front side of the person. Whereas with the male figure, you're going to see it on the front side portion. Does that make sense? So with males, the front side portion of the obliques right here is where you're going to get that fat. But on females, it's going to be more the back side of the obliques and the legs, which create that shape and also sometimes create that hourglass look that you might see sometimes. So there are still going to be fat on the sides, but they're going to be different areas, if that makes sense. I don't know. Let me know if that made sense in the chat, guys. So, I know this it's a little hard to see because we only have a few references that I chose today. If I had more references, like a profile view and stuff, you'd probably see it a little bit better. But yeah. Also, Ratlord, hey, welcome back in. Hopefully you're doing well too. Which channel? Posted in either ArtShare or maybe Art Academics. Maybe Art Academics, actually. All right, yeah, so they're on Discord, but you just got to read the rules. We got to read the rules, accept the rules and stuff. Cool. But now let's go in here. Let's kind of take a step back and let's talk a little bit about shading the form. And so this will hopefully help you guys out when it comes to lighting and all of that stuff. So I'll do a quick demo of how I shade the form and stuff here. All right, so give me a sec. So when it comes to shading the form, honestly, the way that I think about shading any of these forms really is I'm always thinking about the simplified structure, right? So here, let's just assume we have a standard like top lighting shading. When you're shading this form here of, let's say, the boobas, right? Keep in mind that this is going to be a rounded form. And so you're going to have here kind of like a cylindrical curvature as this form kind of wraps around and makes its way to the rest of the body there. Of course, of course we get rated as I'm talking about shading the boobas. What perfect timing! What perfect timing. Okay, well, welcome in everybody who's coming in here from Canda's stream. If you haven't heard of Canda, not to be confused with Conda M, which is what I always used to call her. She's a great streamer out here on Twitch, a great artist. She's working currently on a webcomic, I believe, and it's pretty solid. But go leave her a follow if you haven't yet, guys. She's super awesome. Yeah, Conda is someone else. They're evil twin, not to be confused with Canda M. And if everyone here is coming in from Canda's stream, welcome into the KSM crew. I'll do a quick intro of myself in 3, 2, 1. Now, what is up, everyone here? My name is KSM. I'm a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy, perspective, gesture, to all things related to character design. And I also currently work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. Currently, I'm prepping to work as a character designer for shows like Castlevania, Legend of Korra, and Invincible. So, if you guys are interested in some free art education, or you're looking for my dog who is way back there, make sure you leave a follow, and also if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe and all that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Happy Thursday and or Friday or whatever it is for you guys. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's content. But there you go. That's my little intro about me. If you guys are interested, yeah, that's my intro. I don't know if there's anything else to say there other than welcome in. Oh, thank you for the sub. One chirp. You're here for the dog. Yeah, you're not the first, Prom Live. You are not the first. I get it. Also, welcome in. Let me see here. Seems like you are also a streamer. I always try to follow my fellow streamers out here. Let me leave you a follow. I'll check out your stuff later. Oh, you play games? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'll take a look. But yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate you coming in here. And everyone else is here, by the way, from the raid. Oh, retired. I see. Well, it's too late. I left you a follow too. But yes, welcome in. Thank you for the sub, by the way, One Sure. Appreciate that. But yeah, so we're going to go in here, just add some volume, some quick kind of shading under the forms here, right? Nothing too complicated, but just, again, just some simple shapes to kind of round out that area. And then underneath the armpit is also going to be where you have some of those oblique shapes and stuff. And again, when it comes to any of the forms that we're shading here right now, I'm trying to always consider the shapes that we're working with. So we have here these cylindrical forms. We have here the maybe portion of right here, there's going to be a portion, kind of a pocket there for that center line. You can kind of see it on the reference, actually. So again, I try to keep the shading as simple as possible, nothing too complicated. I think in this case right here, let's also just shade the side of the torso there. And so that way you can kind of start seeing how this box-like form starts to really apply for the human body right here, right? So you're going to start seeing how a lot of that structure really is just, it's a slightly more complex version than what we've already established here with this box that we had here earlier. So I think going in and just understanding how that works can really pay off a lot when it comes to understanding the anatomy. So there you go. The dog is pretty awesome. We love him. Yeah, I don't know. You guys just enjoy seeing my dog sleep all day. He doesn't do anything. Literally, he's just there. But I don't know. You guys are like, yeah, this is prime content. This is what I'm here for. But yeah, hopefully that makes some sense there. We'll do another one here. We'll do another shading of maybe the guy on the bottom here. Okay. And thank you for the follow, Marina. So yeah, again, think about the side planes here, the forms there, and that will kind of naturally transition into some shading. So here's a little bit of shading that we just did for this character. Again, super simple shading, nothing too complicated. You don't have to go too complex here with your forms. Do you intend to keep him in the room with you to get more viewers, KSM, or does he just really like hanging out there? In the past, yes, but now he actually runs in here. He runs in here every other day. He knows. I think he knows because my routine is different. So when I stream on Twitch, I have a different routine in the morning. Like I go grab tea. I go in and like do. I don't know. I think he just knows. He's smart enough to know. But he actually runs into my room like 5 minutes before my stream start, and so that's, I think, a good sign that he likes being here. But I don't know, maybe it's just out of habit. Maybe he just knows I'm going to bring him in here. So now he just willingly does it as opposed to before, having to bring him in. By the way, guys, I do run ads on my stream every hour, and one's going to be running right about now. So if you do get an ad, thank you again for sticking around for the ad break. They do help keep my streams monetarily viable and allow me to do what I'm doing out here on Twitch. But if you don't want to see any ads, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub. But either way, thank you for your support, and I hope to see you guys after the ad break. Yeah, he's a good boy. I bought him a bed recently, another bed. And he has yet to use that bed. I'll bring it in here one of these days, show you guys. You can also subscribe according to YouTube. Yes, if you also just check out and wait for the video to come out on my YouTube channel, which I have a YouTube channel, by the way, then there will not be any ads that play there. We're actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think there are some ads sometimes, but I don't make any money from those because I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby YouTuber. Sad, but it's okay. We're making progress, and yeah, I actually really appreciate you guys who come out and check out my YouTube videos. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the kind comments and stuff. YouTube Premium got you. You have YouTube Premium? Damn, that's insane. I thought about getting it at some point, but I was like, is it really worth YouTube Premium? Maybe, maybe not. ¿Cómo estás? Hold on, let's see if I know how to do this. Yo estoy bien? I'm good? I don't know. Is that right? Is that proper Spanish? I don't know. Look, it's been a long time since I've taken Spanish. I apologize, okay? Sorry, guys. I took Spanish in high school, like way back in the days, and I don't think I even did well. I passed the class, which is all I needed to do. So. Alrighty. Okay, but let's just kind of, again, for these, I'm just adding in some light shading. I'm not doing too much, but we can add some. We can add some complex shading and stuff if we really wanted to. I'm just keeping it nice and simple today for you guys, kind of matching the reference a little bit. Okay, but let's see here. Anything else that I want to call out for you guys? I think we've got some good stuff here for today. Any questions? Any questions in the chat? Let me know in the chat if there was any particular things here that I might have missed. I think something I want to do with you guys really quick is I want to go over maybe the anatomy of the torso, so that way you guys can have a good understanding, because we did a little diagram here, but I feel like it might be lacking to some degree. So let me go in and actually give you guys a little bit more of some interesting tips and tricks about the torso. Oh, dance party break. I forgot it again. Okay, let's do it right now. All right, no worries, no worries. We'll do a dance party break. I think it was a One Piece redemption. All right, so we'll do that really quick, and then we'll go into talking about the brief anatomy and tips and tricks for the tips and tricks here for the torso. All right, so the rib cage in particular. Boop, boop, boop. All right, guys, all you got to do right now is spam emotes in the chat, okay? That's literally all you got to do right now. Just spam some emotes in the chat, and then we'll do a dance party break. So this is the one time a streamer is allowing you guys to just go crazy. Just spam stuff. You guys ready? Okay, there you go. Yes, spam some emotes in the chat, guys. Welcome in. Once a stream, you guys can redeem a dance party break for me. I usually do it during the ad break, but I forgot. It's pretty simple. Spam emotes, and here we go in 3, 2, 1. We got the One Piece today.
The One Piece dance party break. Why is it only here? Hey, this is so wonky. I need to fix this. No, emotes? The emotes are only here. Hey. Oh, okay.
There you go. That's your little dance party break there, guys. Thank you for redeeming that out there on Twitch. Sheesh. It's so wonky. That was the most jank dance party break I've ever done. Like, the emotes were only on one side. My torso is cut off. What the heck? What the low budget dance party break? All right, let's go back in here, and I want to talk really quick about the rib cage, and particularly the rib cage from side view. And so just a few kind of tips and tricks that you guys can start, thinking about. So really briefly here, let me actually put away these references so we have some space. Look at this nipple. The nipple is still here. Okay, I'll keep him, but I'm going to move her away here, and I'll try to make some space, maybe like up here. Okay, this should give us way more space now. All right. So when it comes to the rib cage and stuff, one of the first things I want to show you guys is, first of all, in profile view. So this is the rib cage in profile view. One of the first things you can do is imagine if you had the torso and it was just kind of a box like this. Okay, maybe I'll add a little bit of depth here. So imagine like a box, first of all. Now notice how I'm adding this box here at an angle. And the reason why is because technically the rib cage, the volume of it, kind of tilts at a little bit of an angle. And a lot of that has to do with the spine that we talked about earlier, the curvature of the spine going like this and kind of like this and back this way. So it'll tilt up a little bit this way. And then from there, what we'll do is I'll actually add in another, I'll duplicate this so we can do it a little bit more, shrink it down a bit. Okay. So let me move this over here. And next, what I want to do now is I want to kind of take this form here that we have, and I'm going to actually try to make it a little bit more complex, right? So let's add in a little bit more volume now, and now we can kind of structure out the anatomy that way. And hey, thank you for the follows. To Anathan, and also Emiju, Dempsey, Susan, Mariana, the Shoujo fangirl, and everybody else who's here. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you guys following today. Do you post files you are drawing during lessons, finished versions? I will be. I'll be posting these for my subscribers. So those of you who are subscribed to my streams, not only do you get access to emotes and ad breaks and stuff, but you'll also actually get access to all the worksheets that I have, all the cheat sheets that I make, and you'll get access to the PSD files of all the stuff that you're seeing here on stream. So I just haven't uploaded it yet because I've been, unfortunately, a little busy with work and taxes and just life in general. But I will get to it eventually. Hopefully this weekend, I promise. We'll try to put something out for you guys who are subscribers. So shout out to my subs. But here's a little bit more of a complex form that you can take with this structure. So instead of kind of just having a box here, what I kind of did was I opened it out a little bit, gave it a little bit more of a plane. So maybe like a top plane here, a side plane here like that, and maybe like a lower plane here as well. Huh? Hey, thank you for the prime sub, Natty. Sheesh. So you can start thinking of the box kind of like this as well. And again, you don't have to do it this way. There are so many different ways to do it. But again, one of the main things I want to call out is going to be the structure here of the rib cage. And I'll actually, you know what I'll do? I'll draw it just as a rib cage. So you can imagine the ribs kind of going in here. There's like the clavicle here. And then you have all those ribs going in this way. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then I'll draw in here like the scapula. So that way we have some sanity there of the anatomy. But the reason why this is important is because when it comes to drawing the rib cage on the side there, again, the main call outs that I want to have for you guys is that one, the rib cage will actually point a little bit upwards like this, right? Particularly that sternum section there. But also the other interesting thing too is notice how the neck here kind of goes at an angle this way, right? So there's a bit of a slope there. And so the back portion right here of the spine and the lower portion here of the clavicle, it's going to go at an angle. And so when you're drawing a head, keep that in mind that the head is going to be a little bit at an angle here, and that neck is going to kind of curve out this way. You get what I'm saying? So the neck will kind of go like this and then kind of curve out. And obviously there's going to be some muscle here of the trap muscle, the sternocleidoid going in here like this, but it's going to kind of curve upwards a little bit. So just keep that in mind there, that there is going to be a bit of a slant. And also that slant actually also applies to right here on the bottom portion as well too, because the ribs kind of curve back and into they kind of wrap around the spine there. So the ribs kind of originate from that sternum, and then as it kind of goes further down, they're going to be coming in and connecting to that spine right here. So they're going to be kind of slanting on both sides there. Keep that in mind, that you'll see that there for the ribs. Was there a question earlier? Let me see what that question was. KSM, do you recommend to study the whole anatomy before drawing it like you do, or learning by drawing models like you did today? I'm so confused about what to do. That's a great question. So I would actually recommend what I'm doing now, which is, again, focusing on the simple shapes first, focusing more on gesture and shape. Once you get a good feel for the gesture and shape, then you can take those shapes and really make them more complex, add more detail to them, start thinking about the actual structure of these things. Because I find that if you learn just the anatomy first, what ends up happening is you start to get good at remembering a diagram of the muscles, but not actually having them look good when you draw them, right? Like, put an F in the chat, guys, if you've ever tried to draw something and you're like, you know what, I don't really know the anatomy of the arm. Let me look up arm anatomy really quick. And then you draw it, but it doesn't look good. It just looks like you did a little diagram of the muscles, right? Put an F in the chat if you've ever done that. You're like, anatomy arm, I should probably learn it. Let me put a look it up real quick. But the problem is, if you don't know the general feel and the general structure and the shapes and stuff, oftentimes it's just going to look like it's lacking. Because part of understanding the shapes and the form and the volumes is getting a good understanding of the overlaps, getting a good understanding of proportion, right? You did that last week. It happens. It happens, you know, and that's completely fine. Now, a few other things I want to call out here for the torso, actually, is I'm gonna merge all this. I'm gonna move it up a little bit. So a cool little thing here to know about the general tips about the mobility of the torso here. So the torso, interestingly enough, when it's bending, and I'll do it on a new layer here. So when the torso is bending, right, like let's say you have here this person and they have just a simplified, I'm just going to do a quick box mannequin here. Okay. And let's say this is the pelvis that we have. Okay. So interestingly enough, the range of motion for the torso is that it can basically go and bend. It can go and bend a good amount this way. So you can kind of imagine the torso bending this way, like so. About 90 degrees forward with the spine and stuff. But the torso can't actually bend all that much going backwards. I would say about 40 degrees. So there's a lot less bending there on the torso. So keep that in mind as well for those of you who are maybe trying to, you know, add a little bit more structure and mobility to your anatomy. Again, this is going to vary on style and stuff, but like we're talking technical terms here. So yeah. The shoulder joint is a nightmare for me in so many angles. We'll talk about the shoulders a little bit more when we get into talking about the arms. Okay. So I would say this is going to be about 90 degrees. This goes back about 40 degrees backwards kind of thing. So you have a less range of mobility. I would say when it comes to drawing the torso and stuff. All right, cool. But with that being said, I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover for today's stream. If you guys are new here, by the way, welcome into the KSM crew. My name is KSM. I am a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy, gesture, perspective, to all things related to character design. And if you guys are curious, I also work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. And right now I'm prepping to work as a character designer for shows like Castlevania, Legend of Korra, and Invincible. So if you guys are interested in some free art education, make sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe to YouTube, and all of that cool stuff. Sometimes I feel like I need to breathe when I do that intro. It's just like